Welcome to tonight's live tutorial. I'm Pam Wrigley and let me move that out of the way, it's covering me up. And tonight I'm going to be showing you how to create a beautiful, soft, beachy wave working with long hair. I've already done some waves here, but I'm going to show you kind of from scratch what you actually need to do to get this lovely, soft, kind of gorgeous look to the hair. Now, if you have any questions as we go through the tutorial, please just pop your questions into the chat box and I will do my best to get back to you kind of straight away, although sometimes I get carried away doing the style. So if it takes me a couple of minutes, just bear with me. So it could be questions about creating this lovely beachy wave look, or it could be about anything to do with working as a bridal hairstylist. I am here to help. And we do these live tutorials every week now on YouTube. So if there are styles that you particularly want to learn, you can just let me know. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss, so you'll get notifications when we do our next live tutorial. So just in case. But let's get started, shall we? So I've done I've done most of the hair prep actually, but I am going to show you what you'd need to do, what technique you need to use to create this lovely beachy wave. So I have already spritzed the hair with a heat protector, and I love to use this Style & Care Silhouette Style & Care lotion, which is a kind of it protects the hair, it smooths the hair, it does give a little bit of hold, but it also gives lots of shine. So it's one of the products that I particularly like to use. So most of this hair, some of these curls you can see are looking a bit softer than others. So I'm going to show you what you would do to prep the hair for this style. And then once you've got the curl, I'll show you what you need to do next to stop the hair looking kind of a bit crispy and kind of tightly curled like that to looking like a lovely soft beachy wave that holds the curl. So I'll split this section into two, I think, just so you can see, so I can do it twice. So it's probably actually is, let me make sure that you can see what I'm doing. It's probably big enough actually, I could do that in one, but I think I'd like to see a couple of examples of the hair prep for this style. So normally what I do when I create this style, first of all, you're going to section all the hair away. So you section the front sections and the top, clip them away, and the crown, sorry, my voice is going then, and the crown, and you start working row by row, kind of from the nape of the neck up, finishing off with the sides here. So it's always best to organize yourself well when you're working with hair, and it just makes your job much easier. So first of all, the heat protector, little spritz. I'll do both sections together for this one. So a little bit of heat protector first, and you can comb that section through. I know I've already combed this hair, so I know it doesn't have any little snags in there. And I'm using my Babyliss 24 millimeter tong, and I'm just going to, you can leave the clamp down or you can lift it up, but basically you're going to wave the hair away from the face. Actually, before we do that, we do need our strong hold hairspray, and this is what will make the wave hold really well. So a little bit of strong hold hairspray, or you could use a setting lotion. Just let that dry a little bit first, so you don't want to burn the hair. And then you're going to do your little twist in the hair. Little twist there as you wrap the hair around the tongue. And as I say, this is probably enough. I could have done, this is quite a small section, so it might be quite curly, and I probably don't need to hold it too long. When we take the tongue off, it's going to be a little bit kind of crispy. A bit, I don't know if you can see that curl under there. So you're going to just quickly wave the hair. Let's do the next one. So it's already got the heat protector on. A little bit of strong hold hairspray. I like using the Infineon strong hold hairspray. And you're going to twist the hair away from the face. Twist the hair as you wrap it around the tongue. And my tongs are on the highest heat setting because I want to get some nice kind of a good strong curl into the hair, or wave, I should say. Now, you might find as well that once you've done this, I mean, once you've prepped the hair like this, you might have, you might have a few brides. If this was the bride, then I would probably curl her hair first if I had a few bridesmaids to style. Then I'd style the other people's hair. Well, I'll leave the hair in this kind of crispy, it's almost like it's got a cast on the hair. And we're going to break that cast and we end up with a lovely soft beachy wave. Okay, I think that's all the hair curl. So once you've got that cast on the hair like that, I'll show you some I did earlier here. So section these away. And you can see underneath where I've it's smooth, glossy. It's got a lovely kind of soft beachy wave. And these are just a little bit crispy because I haven't kind of smoothed them out yet. So I'm going to use a little bit of my Goldwell Creative Texture Structure Cream. And we used this last week, I think, on our style where we used where we worked with crimped hair. And it just kind of smooths out the hair. You're going to break the cast, give a little extra glossiness to the hair. Just work one curl at a time. A little bit of smoothing cream. You could use spray wax. That also works really well. But if your lady's got very fine hair, then you'll probably find even just a hairspray, a little bit more of you don't want to weigh the hair down. So even just a little bit more of the Infineon Stronghold hairspray would work well as well. So you can see it's gorgeous. Now, one thing I would say, you can see these waves are all kind of curled in different directions. But I worked with a lady on Saturday who wanted this style, and she had very fine hair. And what I noticed, there, that looks gorgeous. This lady's got a lot of hair. What I noticed with her hair was if you do, that section's not been curled. If you, let's turn that back on again. With very fine hair, if you curl the hair in lots of kind of different directions, you find you get gaps in the hair. But what I noticed was, on one side, I did the hair kind of going in different directions, and on the other side, I did it all in one direction. And it actually, because all the waves were going in the same direction, it was still really beachy and gorgeous. It wasn't that kind of perfect Hollywood wave, but because all the hair was going in one direction, it meant that her hair looked a lot thicker because you couldn't see any kind of gaps in the hair. So if one of your clients has particularly fine hair and she wants this style, and let's face it, a lot of the styles that we see on Instagram and Pinterest, a lot of them have got extensions in them. But if your client doesn't want to wear extensions, then, and just wants to feel like, her natural, gorgeous self on her wedding day, if she's got fine hair, as I say, if you wave the hair so it's kind of going in the same direction, you'll find that you won't get those gaps in the hair and it'll just look really thick and full and gorgeous. That's better. Okay, now just let me check my questions. Let's have a look. Hi, Louisa. Hello, Ajwa. Hi, Sam and the BB crew. I think we've got joining us today. And Kiki, and I think that is that Ivana. Hi, Ivana. Thank you for joining me. We've got some questions. Any questions here? How long would this style take from start to finish? Well, if I was doing this on a bridesmaid's hair, let's now break the cast on these ones at the front here. Oh, look, you see, I have to be so careful. I've got cream on my hand and I've touched the hair. If I was doing this style on a bridesmaid, so to break the cast, so all I'm doing is literally, I don't need to put any product on this one because there was some product stuck on the hair there. To break the cast, I'm literally just pulling my fingers through and over that curl, just to kind of break where the hairspray is a little bit crispy on the hair. So if I were doing this style on a bridesmaid, I would allow 45 minutes. But if I was doing this on a bride, I'd probably do maybe 45 minutes for hair prep and then 45 minutes for hair styling. If your client has particularly thick hair, then sometimes it's worth asking your bridesmaids, if you haven't met any of the bridesmaids before, and when you speak to the bride, I'd ask them if any of the bridesmaids have particularly thick, long, heavy hair. If they have, then better to leave a little bit longer. But I'd give myself I usually do a fairly quick style on the bridesmaids and spend much more time, give the bride much more time. But you can see here, I don't know if you can notice, these curls here are a little bit tighter than the waves here. And what I did basically was just use smaller sections of hair around the tongs. So, on this side, when we did these two curls, I split them up into two. And so they've kind of got a lot more heat to them, and they've ended up with a much tighter wave than this side. So what you can do if you've done something like that on the trial is you could find out, first of all, which one she prefers, but also if her hair tends to drop quickly, then I'd probably go for smaller sections, so it's a slightly tighter wave, so it gives the hair a little bit of leeway, a little bit of space to drop. Okay, so now let's do our style. Check. Hi, Suzette. Thank you for joining me tonight. Now, you know what? She actually looks gorgeous just as she is, but I am going to put the hair up because I think it will look, it will look lovely. But when they've got this lovely thick hair, it just looks gorgeous. So what you would do when you come to style the front section, just check with the bride whether she wants any little bits around her face so you can work out which sections you're going to pick up. And, if she wants quite a bit around, if she wants some soft little bits down around her face, might work slightly better if they were a little bit shorter here and they kind of would frame the face a little bit more. So have a little play with the sections of hair, checking with your bride. I'm working with a mirror here just off camera so I can see what I'm doing. I think I'll just for the purpose of the tutorial, I'm going to bring those sections back. And it's a very let me make sure you can see here. It's a very simple kind of twist we're going to put in the hair. And if she wants a little bit of texture here, or a little bit of height, what you can do is, let me just smooth out these curls a little bit. So you want to kind of, especially if she's got highlights in her hair, you might want to kind of create a little piecey bit of work here. So you can just get sections of hair and twist, loosen them a little bit, making sure that the highlights are kind of lying in the right direction so that you don't get kind of gaps, where there's lots of dark hair showing underneath. Pop the bobby pins in. Now, if you're not sure what I'm doing, we do, of course, have our online bridal hair course. I'm picking up another section of hair, putting a little twist, popping a bobby pin in there. So on the online bridal hair course, it's not easy to show you close up and in detail exactly what I'm doing when we do our live tutorials. But as I say, you can learn with me online. We've got a fabulous offer on at the moment. So we have a beginner's course where you can kind of take those first initial steps in your bridal hair career, your soon-to-be bridal hair career, I should say. Take those first initial steps and learn all about hair prep, health and safety. And that will then lead you into and that's endorsed by Habia, and that leads you into our level 2 online bridal hair course. Little twist here. And with the level 2 course, you can get insurance, professional insurance so that then you're ready to start working as a bridal hairstylist. You know, I've got to say, it is a fabulous career. I have loved every minute of it. Sometimes when the alarm goes off really early in the morning, you wish you could stay in bed. But once you get to work, it's lovely because everybody's happy. I think people sometimes get a bit stressed out, thinking weddings are going to be really stressful, but they're actually just fabulous because everybody's happy, putting on lovely dresses and drinking champagne. The key, though, is, let's just make sure I'm happy with this. The key is to make sure you get your timings right. So always make sure you allow enough time for the hair prep. So I've kind of pinned it a little bit here, slightly skew-iff because I'm working from one side, but it gives you an idea so you can get that lovely piecey work there, piecey look there at the front. And then you can take your hair, put a little twist in the hair. So your timing is key because you don't want a stressed bride. So you'll learn all about timing and making sure that your bride, how to make sure your bride is happy, and working with your clients on the online bridal hair course. So I'm just going to little twist in the hair here. Now, what you can do actually, if you're not quite sure, you know, if you want to kind of prop a little bit of the hair up, you can use a little hairpin just to get it in the right position. And then you're going to secure. And I'm kind of doing this, well, I'm not quite blindfolded, but I'm doing it in the mirror. I'm kind of doing it back to front in the mirror so that you can see, hopefully, what I'm doing. And then we're going to pick up another section of hair here. Again, you check with your bride how much hair she wants down, and that might be dictated by, if she doesn't like her ears, she might want to leave more hair down. If she really wants to, she's got some gorgeous earrings and she wants to show her earrings, she might want more, or she loves her neck, she might want more hair up. So there's no kind of hard and fast rule. And today I did a lady who has grown out her fringe and she's kind of trying to decide whether or not she wants to cut her fringe back in. And there aren't very many styles you see online where people have, it's hard to tell, but a lot of the styles show the hair from the back. But really, you know, all these styles work with a fringe if that's what your client has. You just have to use a mirror the way I am tonight so you can check what it looks like from the front and make sure, and she can make sure she's happy with everything. So just a little twist and pull, hide the bobby pins underneath the hair. Perfect. So that everything is secure and gorgeous. And if any of the hair, like this one's got a little bit of a kink and it's going in the wrong direction, there's a couple of things you could do. You could kind of twist it up and make a bit more of a detail and pin it up here, or you could just simply recurl, maybe either using the tongs or your straighteners to kind of just get it to go to work in with the rest of the waves here. I think for now I'm going to kind of pop it up and make a little bit more detail of the twist. Let's just check our questions. Oh, I'm glad. Oh, so Baby's just asked me if we're working with finer hair, would I use more product? Well, you know what? There's only so much product you can use on the hair before sometimes you can start weighing it down. What I would do is I would put some mousse in the hair first before I start doing anything. I'd put some mousse in the hair and just blow dry the hair quickly. Just you don't have to even use a brush. You can just blast it with the blow dryer just to get the product to dry. And this would be on dry hair. So you'd be putting mousse all the way through the hair. And then that will help to give the hair a little bit more grip. It's very fine and very soft. And quite often with fine hair, it may have a tendency to be a little bit greasy. So they may want to wash their hair on, which is absolutely fine because it's the last thing you want to do is to be working with greasy hair. So what you can do, the hair will be clean, soft, probably, and silky. Ask them not to use any leave-in conditioners or any serums or any kind of Moroccan oil. You don't want any of that in the hair. You would just have clean, dry hair. put some mousse in there, blow dry it. Be quite generous with the mousse. Blow dry the hair so it kind of gives it a little bit of texture. It'll kind of feel like somebody who's got quite dry hair, and that's really what you want. You want it to be a little bit kind of textured almost. So mousse, and then your heat protector, just a very light heat protector. So that's why I like the Style and Care lotion. I did used to use a product, I think it was called All in One, or I think it was a Revlon product, but it was quite, it's a lovely product, but it makes the hair very soft and silky. And really we're trying to move away from that if we want the curl to last. So I then use my heat protector and the Stronghold hairspray. And you'll find when you take the hair out, I'm just twisting this as I'm chatting away to get to the end of that curl. That's it, that wayward curl. Then you'll find when you get to the end, I wouldn't use too much spray wax either because that will weigh the hair down. And I probably wouldn't even use too much of the structure cream. I would go back, once I break the cast, I'd use some of my Infineon Stronghold hairspray. So you don't need a lot of products, but it's just choosing the right product. And I think we're almost there. So fine hair, I do the waves in the same direction because then you don't get any gaps and you don't see through the hair and it looks much thicker and kind of gorgeous. Mousse, Infineon, not very much spray wax at all, not very much structure cream because it's going to weigh that fine hair down, and you'll find that will give you a long lasting curl and the hair will look thick and gorgeous and beautiful. And there we go. Let me check our questions. I think I've answered them all. Don't forget to subscribe. So, oh, actually I can see these little pins that I put in earlier. I can take those out now. So don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss another tutorial, any of the tutorials I should say, and have a great week. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for joining me. Hope you've enjoyed tonight's tutorial and you like the style. Thanks again. Take care. Bye.